In today's video, how did Argentina and Messi become a soccer refuge for nations without a World Cup? Luka Modric's unexpected comment about Messi in the 2026 World Cup. Don't forget to share your predictions with us in the comments about the Argentina national team in this World Cup. And if you are a soccer fan, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to follow all the latest updates. How did Argentina and Messi become a soccer refuge for nations without a World Cup? Imagine that almost half of the planet's inhabitants support one single national team during the World Cup. This is not an exaggeration, but the reality imposed by the political geography of soccer when it comes to the Argentina national team and its legendary star, Lionel Messi. Because when a soccer fan belongs to a country whose national team does not participate in the World Cup, they find themselves driven by their passion to look for an alternative soccer home to support, since it is impossible to remain neutral during the biggest sporting event in the world. Here, giant countries such as India, China, Pakistan, and Indonesia stand out, with a combined population that exceeds the barrier of 3.5 billion people, which is equivalent to approximately half of the world's population. This enormous human bloc has become an endless reservoir of love for the Tango Brigade, Messi, the key word in a love that transcends continents. In this global distribution of soccer loyalties, Argentina lands the decisive blow. And specifically thanks to the impact of Lionel Messi, neutral fans have clearly made their choice. In the absence of their national teams, they automatically become part of the albiceleste identity throughout the entire World Cup period. This phenomenon is not new, but it reached its peak at the Qatar 2022 World Cup, where thousands of fans from India, Pakistan, and Indonesia poured into Doha to support Argentina, to the point that data from the organizing committee revealed that fans from these three countries were among those who attended the stadiums the most, and were only outnumbered by fans from Argentina and Mexico themselves, even though their national teams never stepped onto the World Cup field. And according to what was published by the Spanish newspaper AZ, the displays of support were not limited only to the days of the competition, but were preceded by extensive preparations in several Asian countries. In the Indian state of Kerala, markets filled with products bearing images of Messi in Argentina, from jerseys, statues, and sports souvenirs, while the streets of major cities such as Mumbai were decorated with huge murals and drawings of the Argentine star. Several Chinese cities, including Yiwu, also witnessed a wide spread of handmade products and decorations inspired by Messi's personality and career. The phenomenon did not stop at the borders of Asia, but spread strongly across the American continent. Because ever since Messi's transfer to the American League MLS, he caused a commercial and fan earthquake among Latin Americans. Messi became the first hero for fans from Caribbean and Central American countries that do not find a path to the World Cup, such as surpassing the most prestigious European clubs. The world is writing the farewell stage. While Messi competes in the World Cup on the land where he currently lives, the United States, it seems clear that the motivation is no longer purely Argentine. It is Messi's World Cup tournament, where peoples from different cultures and languages unite under one single flag. Not out of love for Argentina's geography, but out of gratitude toward a player who shaped the history of modern soccer. Luka Modric's unexpected comment about Messi in the 2026 World Cup. I want to begin with a personal moment. When I saw Messi enter the field in the 79th minute against Iceland, I felt something strange and beautiful at the same time. Something like relief. Relief that this man is here, that the injury did not take him away, that the World Cup will not begin without the best player in its history. And 2 minutes after he came on, a goal and an extraordinary pass. As if he wanted to tell the entire world, I am here. I am a midfielder who spent his entire career trying to understand the game deeply. I think about spaces, about time, about reading the game. And with all this understanding that I built over decades, Messi is still the only thing that sometimes makes me say, there is a level of understanding that I do not know how to explain. He came on in the 71st minute. Less than 2 minutes later, he passed the ball in a way that only he does. A penalty arrives. He stands in front of the goalkeeper and calmly places the ball. Minute 72. He had come on 2 minutes earlier. Then, in the 86th minute, he creates the third goal. 20 minutes on the field, 1 goal and 1 decisive pass, 38 years old, and the oldest player to score in the history of the Argentina national team. These numbers look like fiction, but they are reality. Now let me talk to you about something that occupies my thoughts a lot. When I faced Messi in El Clasico with Real Madrid, I saw him do certain things. The first pass that opens up space before anyone else sees it. The movement without the ball in the right direction 1 second before the ball arrives. The complete patience with the ball under pressure, and then the only moment when he explodes with astonishing precision. He did these things at 22 with Barcelona. What does he do now at 38? He does exactly the same thing. He did not change. He did not decline. He did not disappear. The extraordinary pass he made before the penalty was perfect timing and exceptional vision that nobody else on the field saw. This is the same Messi who exhausted us in El Clasico. The same reading, the same calm, the same precision. And what is truly surprising is that these abilities did not come with time, but were present from the beginning. Messi did not become a genius over time. He was born with this understanding and developed it. And what is happening now at 38 is that the body has taken a small step back, but this understanding has remained. And because understanding is more important than the body for him, he remains effective at a level the mind refuses to believe. I won the Ballon d'Or in 2018, and I am proud of that achievement. But I will not lie to anyone and say that I am better than Messi. That Ballon d'Or came in an exceptional year for all of soccer. But when you ask about the greatest in history, the answer is clear and direct. Messi proved that he is the greatest of all. There is no real debate. There is no player who, for entire decades, has offered this level of consistency, genius, and impact. 8 Ballon d'Or, the highest number of goal contributions in World Cup history. World champion with Argentina after a lifetime of chasing it. And the all-time leading scorer in the history of the Argentina national team, with a goal he scored at 38. This is not a player's career. It is a narrative that had never been written before. Now the 2026 World Cup, and I hear a lot about the favorite teams to win. Brazil, France, Spain, England. They are all strong teams, without a doubt. But I say clearly, from the perspective of a player who experienced this game and lived through its toughest challenges, Argentina is the strongest favorite to win the title. And the reason does not need complexity. The reason is called Lionel Messi. Messi does for Argentina what no tactic or plan or brilliant name can do. He gives them certainty, the certainty that victory is possible, even in the most difficult moments. The certainty that there is always a way out of any difficult situation. This certainty is the most dangerous weapon in soccer, and it cannot be bought or taught. It only comes from having a player of Messi's greatness. I played in World Cups several times with Croatia, and I know what it means to reach the advanced stages, and I know that the team that has the player capable of making the difference in decisive moments is the team that holds on until the end. Argentina has that player. Not just a good player, but the best player in history, and he is clearly preparing well after his return from injury. Messi in the World Cup is something different from Messi in any other tournament, as if he raises his level 1 extra degree, as if this particular stage brings something out of him that does not appear anywhere else. And what we saw in the preparation match against Iceland was a clear message. Messi is ready, and Argentina is ready, and the 2026 World Cup will have a special flavor because of him. I want to stop on something not many people have talked about. The injury that came before this match. When Messi left Inter Miami's match early a few weeks ago, the entire soccer world stopped. Everyone held their breath. And that alone says something very deep about this man's place. It was not only Argentina fans who were afraid. The entire world was afraid. Because the world knows that his presence in this tournament adds a dimension that nothing else can compensate for. And his return to score a goal and give a decisive pass in his first appearance after the injury is not a coincidence. This is a repeated pattern in Messi's career. He is absent, he returns, and he proves that the absence took nothing away. This ability to come back at the same level or even higher after every obstacle is what makes his career a miracle by every standard. I remember the 2018 World Cup in Russia very well. We left with Croatia after a painful defeat in the final against France. But I carry memories from that tournament that will never disappear. And one of the most important things I learned in that tournament is what it means to play with real hunger, with a determination that never dies. Messi, in every World Cup he plays, seems hungrier than before. And this hunger at 38, after having won everything, can only be explained as something that transcends ordinary logic. Croatia is a relatively small national team that managed to reach the World Cup final. And from that experience, I know that miracles happen in the World Cup. But I also know that some teams enter the tournament with a weapon that nobody else possesses. Argentina has that weapon, and if Messi is at the level we saw against Iceland throughout the entire tournament, then any national team that faces them must realize that it is facing something exceptional. I am now at the stage of approaching the end of my career, and that makes me think about legacy and memory. What will generations remember from now on? Which images will remain engraved in soccer's memory for decades? And I know that Messi will be at the heart of this memory, not only as numbers and titles, but as a way of playing, as beauty and performance, as humility despite greatness. What makes Messi different from everyone we see is not only talent. He plays this game with joy. Even now, even at 38, you see in his eyes that joy with which he played as a child. This real joy is what keeps him distinguished. Players who play for joy and not for statistics are the ones who leave a mark that is never erased. Thank you, Leo. Thank you for still being here. Thank you for continuing to give us these moments. The 2026 World Cup is lucky to have you in it, and soccer is lucky that our generation lived in your era.